The Bears are gonna beat the Jaguars in London, and while we drink our tea and get a bottle of water, I can't do it. All right, that was probably one of the worst English accents that you've probably ever heard. But the Bears are gonna beat the Jaguars. Not very good at English accents. But the Bears are playing the Jaguars. Technically, it's a home game, but it is in London. It's at 7:30 in the morning my time. I have no idea what time. Wherever you're watching it, it's at 7:30 Mountain Time. So let's go over this game. The Jaguars, not the start to the season that they were probably hoping for. Absolutely abysmal start to the season. They finally got their first win last week against the Colts. Trevor Lawrence actually starting to heat up. Brian Thomas Jr. looking like probably one of the best rookies coming out of this class. He finally started to get, his strides too. So Brian Thomas Jr., it looks like he is going to be a threat to this team. But the Bears do, I'm not afraid to say it, the Bears do have the best secondary in the league. The Broncos are close, the Vikings are close, but I think the Bears have the best secondary in the league. So their wide receivers are decent. They have Brian Thomas Jr., Christian Kirk, and I don't remember the other one. Is it Zay Jones? Do they still have him? I don't remember. But our secondary, I believe, is going to be able to lock down their receivers. I believe that they are going to be able to get to the pass. The pass rush is going to be able to get to the passer or the quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say. And then our offense is also just heating up. They are absolutely eating these last 2 weeks. The Rams don't have the best defense. They just lost to the Packers. Panthers definitely do not have the best defense. J.C. Horn and Panthers fans were talking shit, and look how that worked out. So J.C. Horn is probably their best defender, especially after they're decimated with injuries. So I was totally expecting to win the game, but based off that first drive, I thought it was going to be a lot closer of a game than it actually turned out to be. But other than that, it was a good game. It was a good development game for Caleb. I'm glad that he got his strides. I'm glad he started, figuring it out. And then now they're playing in Tottenham. So I believe that's how you say it. So the Jaguars, this is the only fear that I have with the Jaguars. They actually win in London. They win in England every time they play in England. I'm pretty sure the last 4 times they played in England, which technically is their second home. That's what the NFL at least likes to say. Every time they play in England, they win. The last 4 times, I believe they're 4-0 in England. So, not like they're a very good team. Like, they played last year. I remember that Toy Story type of like virtual reality type thing. I actually ended up watching it that way just because I thought it was hilarious at how badly the technical difficulties were. So that was entertaining. I believe it was the Jaguars Falcons in London against the Toy Stories. They're not doing anything like that this year, probably because it was a massive failure. But the Bears have already been there since Monday. I believe they left Monday afternoon and got there like Tuesday morning, our time. So they've been there for a while, and Matt Eberflus has already said, we have to get our clocks right. We have to not be jet lagged. We have to get there pretty much a week early. So they had like no time to celebrate that win, which it's just a regular season win, so there's not much to celebrate anyway. But especially against the Panthers. But they didn't have much time to celebrate. It was no bullshit. We won the game. All right, move on to the next one. Let's hop on the plane the next day. Because I think the last time the Bears played in London Matt Nagy was still our head coach, and we played the Raiders. And I'm pretty sure we got there like 2 or 3 days before the game, and everyone looked tired. It was jet lagged. So I'm glad we're getting there. We learned our lesson, and obviously it's a different regime. So they're going to do things a little bit different. The only thing is that Jaquan Brisker on the Bears is not playing in this game. He has a concussion. I'm surprised that they didn't catch it in the moment. That's why I think concussions are so dangerous, because he clearly, after that hit, he did not look okay. All right, I mean, that was a massive hit. They should have kept him out the rest of the game, and they let him keep playing after that big hit on Tommy Tremble. And after the game, I'm pretty sure it was actually the next day, that Monday, they announced that he isn't in concussion protocol and he will not be traveling with the team, which I thought was a little interesting, because I don't know why they let him play the rest of that game. So, but anyway, Jaquan Brisker won't do it, so it sounds like Elijah Hicks will be the backup, or the starter, I mean, for just this game, while Jaquan Brisker is recovering as the safety position. So our secondary is still pretty damn good. Kevin Byard had an INT last game for his first interception as a Bears safety. Jaquan Brisker, not Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson, still very good. Tyreek Stevenson had a good game. I really like him, okay? And then on our defense, I'm not worried. On our offense, they're starting to pick it up. They're starting to pick it up these last few weeks. Caleb's looking like he's finding his stride. DeAndre Swift finally looking like he is a, competent NFL running back, which the first 3 weeks didn't look so much like that. So I think he's going to have another decent game. And if DeAndre Swift keeps it up, this is going to only make it so much easier for Caleb Williams to be able to progress as a passer. It really would. Because the first 3 weeks, I think he played like shit, Caleb, because we didn't have a run game at all, whatsoever. So everyone knew he was going to throw the ball. That's probably why Shane Waldron had him throw it 50 times, because DeAndre Swift couldn't pick up anything more than 1.2 yards per carry, which is ridiculous. So as long as DeAndre Swift can keep it up and our offensive line can keep it up, that's probably the best against the Panthers. That's probably the best offensive line game I've seen as a whole unit in a Bears uniform in a very long time, probably within 3 or 4 years, that we have not seen a Bears unit as a whole play that good. Now they have to keep it up, because it's the Panthers and they're decimated on defense, especially at D-line and the secondary. I mean, their whole defense is decimated. So playing to that level, of being good is not really impressive when you're doing it against a very injured Panthers team. If you keep it up and you do it against Josh Allen and Tavon Walker this week, I'll praise you. But praising them against the Panthers, who don't even really have a pass rush, don't even really have a defensive line, I mean, congratulations. You played good against a very, very shitty defense, for one, and two, pretty much all of them are not even starters. So I'm not sold on this offensive line just yet. But I want to see, Cole Kmet. He's starting to get more into the game plan. I want to see him used even more. I want to see Gerald Everett also used even more. Get Roma Dunze involved. Keenan Allen has like 50 yards on the entire year. He needs to be more involved. DJ Moore has been more involved this last 2 weeks, but he needs to be even more involved. Like get him more targets. More targets. He needs to be more involved. And I don't know. I'm not an NFL offensive coordinator. We have so many moving parts. We have so many nice pieces on this offense, like shiny new toys. But Shane Waldron needs to figure out how to get each and every one of them involved, because if we only have DJ Moore and he's only getting the ball, everyone knows it's going to DJ Moore. You need to start getting Rome Odunze targets, Gerald Everett, Cole Kmet, even DeAndre Swift, which the screen game actually has been working. It worked last week. DeAndre Swift has actually been pretty good on the screen game. Keep it up. Keep it up. And I'll start to praise Shane Waldron. I understand when I do these videos, it's mostly after games that, don't go our way. I say the stupidest shit, okay? I've already said I'm out on Shane Waldron. I've probably already said that like 2 or 3 times in my videos. Obviously, I'm overreacting, all right? I'm not back in on Shane Waldron just yet, okay? If he consistently does this on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis, where he actually calls competent play calls. Now, he's still, even during the Panthers game, that 4th and 1 call, he still is a little incompetent when it comes to that shit, and against better teams, that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So I'm not fully back in on Shane Waldron, but he's starting to win me over a little bit. If he keeps it up, I'll be back in on Shane Waldron. Right now, I'm still out. I don't think he's... you need to do this against the Packers. You need to do this against the Lions. You need to do this against the Vikings. If we can beat them or even split the entire NFC North, I'll be back in on Shane Waldron. All right? If we beat the Packers, fuck yeah. I will literally build you a statue. But for right now, keep it up, beat the Jaguars, and that's all that matters. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.